something that's very, very minutes with cold for like a week. Any little thing that's like on here. I've just got. No. Oh, that sounded like a toilet. You know. It did too. It did sound like it. I'm not saying that it wasn't.
Hey, good morning. Greg's here. Who's all on the call?
Hey, Greg.
Good
Morning.
JP. Oh my, we have a bunch on. I didn't hear him above me. Me neither.
Drew Page with QTEX here as well.
Drew.
Oh.
Nina Chu is on.
Nina.
Becky Bramborg with Echo Enterprises.
Hey, Becky. Well, how many board members? I heard JP.
Jeanette's on.
Hi, Jeanette.
Hey, Bruce.
After 3 days.
This is Pat.
Hi, Pat. We got
Good morning.
3 board. Good morning. We got 3 board members, so we need at least one more. My apologist said Sheila will not be on. She is has a flight connection. As far as I knew, Doug and Bob had planned on being on. It is Monday morning, though, so they may have forgotten.
Good. Every day's a Saturday, you know.
That's right, Pat. Must be a bugger trying to remember those tea times, huh?
It is.
Any more board members join us? I wonder if we shouldn't start calling.
Good morning, this is Doug.
Never mind. Hey, Doug, how are you?
Not too bad.
So, Mr. Chairman, we got a quorum. Well, I'll turn it over to you. We're already recording, so.
Okay, sorry about that. I had it on mute. Was talking to myself. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We'll go ahead and start. Bruce, are we doing this on webinar or just on the phone?
Just on the phone.
Okay. So I guess we'll try to do some semblance of a introductions right after Paula does a roll call of the board members on the call.
Pat?
Here.
Jeanette?
Here.
Ingrid? Doug?
Here.
Bob? JP?
Yes, here. Okay. If we can have the people that are on the call attempt to let us know that you're out there, and then after that, we'll get started with the agenda.
Nina Chu is on the phone.
Greg Gould.
Drew Page.
Bauer.
Tracy
Manuel.
Brand Borg, Echo Enterprises.
And then this is Bruce Brensdahl here at the board, and around the table with me I have Todd Jackson, I have Hope, I have Mary Bear, I have Paula Loving, I have Stacy.
Okay, well, great. Thanks, everyone. Is there any public comment on items?
Sorry, JP. I know Vicky Bauer was here too.
Okay, great. Thanks. Is there any public comment on items that are not on today's agenda? Not hearing anything. I will move on to the minutes from the last board meeting. The board member would a board member care to make a motion to approve those minutes?
This is Jeanette. So move.
Second. This is Pat. Thank you. Is there any comments on the minutes from last meeting?
This is Doug, and I guess I wasn't able to stay for that whole meeting, but I think you have me in there. I'm trying to find it again. Making a motion when I'm pretty sure I wasn't there. It's on page 5. Second paragraph. It says Sheila Rice. It starts with Sheila Rice stated for the record. Anyway, I was able to start the meeting, but I wasn't able to stay.
Is it under the home ownership program section?
It was on the FHA loan advance resolution.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it was Vista Villas resolution. Anyway, it's
stated for the record.
Yeah, I think if you notice, Doug didn't vote on the motion.
Yeah. Does anyone happen to remember?
I mean, I can review the tape.
Okay, we'll review the tape and then we'll make that correction.
Because that's totally wrong all the way.
Review it and make that that correction, you guys.
Hey, Bruce,
Okay.
Bob Coach is on.
Hey, Bob. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Pat. I would move the adoption of the minutes with the change that will be reflected in the tapes.
Second.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, fine.
Okay. Paula, can you, I guess, do a roll call since we can't see each other say yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Doug?
yes.
Ingrid? Jeanette?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
Sheila? Sorry. JP?
Yes. Okay. Thank you all. We'll move on to the multifamily program, and Mary Bear, I'll let you take it from there.
Okay, as I mentioned during the last meeting that we had some rural development projects that were going to possibly have a hard time meeting the deadline of December 1st. Since then, some of the other projects, including Freedom's Path, and there's some information on Greg's verbiage, but Freedom's Path is going to have a hard time getting their long-term VA lease, or they'll be unable to get it until they close with the investor, and that closing has been delayed because of historic tax credit. One of the other projects has had some issues with their lender that is going to slow them down a lot. Cascade Ridge is actually finished. Actually managed to get hers closed, I think it was Thursday. Else is still out there and having issues with sources beyond their control. So Greg has written up some verbiage, and what I'm proposing is that we go ahead and do an extension for the required documentation on December 1st. Until their deadline for their 10%. And Greg has prepared a motion on page 4 of the documentation that he gave you. Greg, do you want to jump in here and explain a little more?
Yes, thanks, Mary. The memo just goes through and outlines the situation, what the QAP requirements are. The QAP requires by December 1st that those projects awarded 2016 credits provide proof of ownership information and a recorded set of restrictive covenants. And again, because these projects are not going to be able to provide those. I'm sorry. Could somebody put their phone on mute? I'm hearing a lot of noise.
Star 2 will mute your phone if you guys need to.
Because of these delays that Mary has described, they'll be unable to meet that requirement. So the federal tax credit law gives the board the discretion to set its own requirements for providing a carryover commitment. So that allows the board the flexibility to basically extend this deadline by using the waiver provision in the QAP. So the proposed motion recites that a number of the projects will be unable to meet this deadline, and that without some action by the board, these projects would lose the 2016 credits. The QAP does provide that the board may waive any requirement of the QAP if it determines that that is in the best interest of the board or the housing credit program. And then recites that the board finds that to be in the best interest of the program and goes ahead and provides that the board would waive that December 1 deadline. Those same proof of ownership and restrictive covenant requirements would have to be met by the deadline for the 10% cost certification submission. So all of the usual requirements would apply. It would in effect simply provide an extension of time for these particular requirements to be met.
Question. Have we done this in the last 25 years?
I don't believe so.
Have we waived it?
Have we waived it?
Or extended it?
We have not waived or extended this. This particular language I did not go back and look, but I would say it's probably been only in there for 2 or 3 years. And the reason
that's what I was getting at. Yeah, what has changed so all of a sudden we have over half of our grant awardees that are having a problem here? Is there something we need to look at the QAP discussions that is too restrictive or is not practical? I'm always nervous when after the fact we change any QAP rule because it's going to come up from all the unsuccessful applicants, you know.
And I think
we're going to have questions.
And I think that we can look at a way to loosen up this language a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, Bob, I would tell you that a few years ago, the IRS actually changed their rules because prior to that, the 10% carryover was actually by the end of the year
I remember that, yeah.
When that switched, what we decided to do was kind of, you know, to force the projects to get going a little earlier was say, before we're going to carry over, we want you to own the land. And we haven't really, I mean, they struggled with it, but everyone's been able to kind of get there.
Yep.
So for whatever reason, whether it be the lending environment or the syndication world, it's just taken a little bit longer. And I think this will be one of the things we talk about in our QAP discussions for this next coming time. And I have a feeling we'll probably recommend some changes there to address this on a permanent basis.
Okay. Thank you.
The one thing that is not waived is the reservation fee still has to be paid by December 1st. And Greg put that in the language that the reservation fee by December 1st, 2016, however, is not waived.
So I think if you're willing as a board to do this, I don't necessarily think you need to read the motion, but can probably move the motion provided by staff.
Is there any other questions for either Greg or Mary?
This is Pat. I'll move the motion that appears on page 12 of the packet.
This is Doug, and I'll second.
Is there any other comments from board members? And is there any public comment on the motion at hand? Okay, hearing none. Paula, can you do a roll call vote, please?
I was unmuting my phone. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
This is Tracy Minuet with HRDC in Bozeman, representing Big Sky Villas, and I just really wanted to thank the staff for putting forth this effort and really helping us out with this, because we are certainly pushing forward as much as we can to get this closed in before the December 1 deadline. But we're very grateful to the staff for helping us with work around issues we've encountered.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Okay, Paula, can you do a roll call vote, please?
Bob?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Jeanette?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
JP?
Yes. Okay, motion carries, and everybody has a little bit more time to make all this work. It's good. Bruce, did you have anything additional?
No, just a reminder that we will have another probably webinar conference call on December 12th. I believe we're looking at starting that one at 8:30 also. So if you could just put that on your calendars, I'd appreciate it. And happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Same to you.
Same to you.
Thanks, everybody.
We're adjourned.
Guys.
Hi, everybody.
Is that it?
I'm glad I just happened to come over here to look at my phone.